leverage your business using mobile through Google. So I'm going to first start off with some definitions. So at Google, we are more focused on high-end devices, and by that we mean devices with full HTML browsers. So that means Palm Pre, iPhone, and Android. We class every single other phone as WAP currently. So that is Nokia, LG, Blackberries. Those are what we deem WAP. So drilling down from there, the targeting options that you do have for high-end devices are going to be Palm Pre, iPad, iPhone, and Android for high-end devices. You can still also target WAP if you want to target Blackberries and Nokias and LGs. What you can also do if you want to slice and dice kind of who you want to target in terms of customers is target by carrier. So that's Vodafone, T-Mobile, 3, Orange, and O2. So if you're promoting something like Orange Wednesdays, obviously you're going to just want to target Orange customers. Now we're going to have a look at some ad formats that you can use through mobile. So these are a few of them here. Don't look at them all at once because we're going to go through them one by one. So the first one you see is kind of a Marks and Spencer's ad. What they've done in the creative is put a kind of a mobile call to action. So as you can see, shopping on your mobile made easy, we deliver to home or an M&S store. It looks like a pretty basic ad, but to the mobile consumer, this is highly attractive and relevant. M&S not only look like a brand who are dynamic and changing with the mobile space, but they're also saying to the customer, come in through our site, it's going to be easy for you. We know you're mobile and we're mobile too. The next ad is a click-to-call ad. This is something that has been phenomenally successful. Hands up if you've seen a click-to-call ad or you know of them. Okay, right, preaching to the converted. Doesn't matter, we're going to go through with it anyway. So what you know is that it is a hyperlinked number within the ad, as you can see there, the 08458921116. What happens when a user clicks on that? They get taken to the dialer page where they can then call. This is a great way for businesses to connect directly with users. It's great for businesses who don't maybe have a mobile website and they're taking the user away from the mobile website and driving them through their telephone sales. And some kind of advertisers find it easier to upsell people on a telephone anyway. So there are two types of click-to-call. The first one is location click-to-call. What that means is that when a user is within the vicinity of your business, so this is if you have a branch network as such, so if it's something like the post office and they're searching, the ad will show up with a local number. So when we say local number, like 0207, 0171, things like that, and also a map that Plusbox out. Let's see if we can have a look at that, Luke. Here we go. This is for storage company. And so we're looking for a nearest storage company near here. So I can see that Storage London has a clickable click-to-call number there. I know that says 0800, but it can say 0207 if they want. And it also has the clickable map, as Luke's going to demonstrate. Wow, isn't that lovely? A clickable map, and it shows the user exactly where they can go for the storage place.
That click is completely free of charge as well.
Yeah, so clicking on the map is completely free of charge, but the click on the click-to-call number charges exactly as same as your CPC. The second type of click-to-call is what you see here. It's a national click-to-call, because some advertisers don't have a branch network. They'll have a call centre in the middle of Swindon or something like that with an 0845. So this click-to-call, this national click-to-call, is for those advertisers who want to target customers regardless of business or user location. Your ad will show. And there we go. The third format, and something that's really exciting and has been hugely popular, is an ad format called click-to-download. And this works really well if you are promoting an iPhone app or an Android app. So it's a little complicated to explain, but very easy to implement. I'm just going to talk you through it. How many of you have a kind of an AdWords campaign or manage AdWords campaigns? Okay, cool. So you know that when you're creating your ad text in AdWords, that normally in the display URL, you'd put in itunes.apple.com or android.marketplace.com, because that's the URL. What our system does is recognize that that is a marketplace URL and turns that into that says download iPhone app. So you don't see the messy URL, you effectively have a call to action within a URL right there. So the user knows that when they click it, they know where they're going to go. They're going to go to that kind of, the download page. So in Apple, it's just the download page with the install button. Now, the last ad format is something that is going to be huge and is huge now. It's our hyperlocal ad format. So what this is when you're creating an ad in your AdWords campaigns, and you put in your location or link it with your Google Places account, again, you will have something like the map there, the expandable map. But what you also have is a badge there. You can see like the Google pin, the Maps pin, telling me that I'm 1.3 miles away from my nearest plumbers. This is something that Google's putting their bets on, because what we're seeing internally is that 1 in 3 searches actually have local intent from a mobile phone, and that's huge. And I think like a quarter of App Store apps are actually location-based as well. So this is something that is going to be great for the user and great for the business. Now we're going to go into some golden rules of optimizing. So you've heard the big figures, you've heard about targeting, you've seen the ad formats, but how do you create an effective mobile campaign in AdWords? First rule. Separate out your campaigns. All the ad formats that I just showed you will not work unless you have a separate mobile campaign. That way you can do 3 things. You can control your budgets and bid more effectively if you have a separate mobile campaign. Again, for people who don't know what I'm talking about, if you separate out a mobile campaign and just check the box that says mobile phones with mobile high-end devices, that is a separate mobile campaign. So you have more control over bids and budgeting. Relevant messaging, the M&S example, the Holiday Inn example, you can only do that if you have a separate mobile campaign. And 3, better targeting. So again, if you wanted to do carrier targeting or specific device targeting, do that within a separate mobile campaign. It's very, very easy to do. Those of you who manage AdWords campaigns know that just creating a campaign is easy to do, and you'll understand the return you're getting from mobile better. And it works. So this is kind of analysis we run on those people who actually have separated out mobile campaigns versus those who don't. And what we see is that they have a 43% higher conversion rate, an 80% higher click-through rate, mainly because of their relevant messaging that they're putting in, and 15% less CPA. Now that is pretty powerful. If I told you right now that you could get a 43% increase in conversion rate on your desktop, you would have all left by now and gone and done it. And it shouldn't be any different for mobile. Number 2, keyword lists. So if you have a separate mobile campaign, you can also now target customers from keywords that they are actually typing in, search terms they're typing in. So another analysis kind of thing that we ran internally is that people with smartphone devices normally type in about 3 words per query or less. People with WAP devices, it's normally about 2. So what we recommend when you're developing a separate mobile campaign is to keep your keywords to 3 words or less, just initially to start off with. Number 3, I've talked about this twice now, and I'm very aware that I am repeating myself, but creating compelling ad text is very, very key. So I'm just going to give you a little comparison. So over here we've got desktop search, we've got 2 desktop ads. And they're perfectly fine desktop ads. But when you think about what a mobile user wants to see, how busy they are, they're on the go, they're looking for you, they're looking locally for you. Think about what kind of messaging works well. So for the restaurant one, fine dining for any occasion, call us now to reserve a table. It has the click to call there, it has the location extension there. I mean, you know from yourselves, just by looking at that as a mobile user, you'd click on that more than you click on that. Also, villas in Spain. Again, hundreds of villas to choose from, discount for online bookings. Great desktop ad. For a mobile user, hundreds of villas to choose from, search easily on our mobile site. That's pretty powerful. I want something, I'm a mobile user, I'm a straw poll of one, but I'm sure there are people who agree with me in this room that when I'm looking on my phone, sometimes I am busy and I want the easiest and quickest solution. And that to me seems like that. So always remember to include relevant messaging. Bidding and budgeting, number 4. So we recommend when you're starting off with a new mobile campaign to initially bid quite competitively to be able to get kind of those first 2 spots. There are a total of 5 ad spots on mobile as opposed to the 11 on desktop, which Luke is now going to demonstrate. There's the 2 at the top, and if he scrolls down, there we go. There's the 3 at the bottom.
It's a long scroll. It's a long scroll.
It is a long scroll, thank you, Luke. But yeah, so that's what we normally suggest. Number 5, tracking your performance. So if you have a separate mobile campaign, you'd be able to look into Adwords and just see the performance there. If you don't have, I know there are a lot of words on this slide. I think these slides are going to be sent out, or you'll be able to receive them. So don't try and kind of read it all at once. Again, if you don't have a separate mobile campaign, you can still track the performance on mobile. It's not going to be as beneficial, and it's still slightly a bit complex, but you can do it. So with hybrid campaigns, those that aren't separated out, you can separate or segment by device, which will allow you then to see inline reporting in AdWords there. So if you're in your campaign, you select segment by device, and it comes up down here at the bottom. So you'll have a line for computers, or you're getting from a desktop, and then a line for mobile devices. So you'll see exactly what you're getting from just mobile. This is really good for when you're choosing which kind of campaign you want to test for mobile. So you go in there, run these reports, you see that lock service, or whichever campaign is there, is doing pretty well on mobile. And you think, I'm going to test that out. I'll separate it out and give it a test. At the end of the day, it's all about testing and learning from mobile. Again, if you want to track your click to call, if you've implemented it, the Add Extensions tab will allow you to see that. So you've got the number there, you've got the campaign name, and all the relevant metrics that you see in AdWords. Also, you can use Google Analytics, which is a free tool that we use. So this is something if you want to understand how users are interacting with maybe your apps, what kind of traffic's coming through to your site from which devices. This is a great free tool that you can implement. It's very, very easy, which allows you to see all this kind of data. I think this might be one of the last rules, is optimize your mobile website. Now, a lot of clients come up to me and say, oh, we just want to build an app. And I kind of think, oh, why do you want to build an app? And they say, oh, because our competitors are building apps, so we need an app. And whilst that's okay, if that fits in with your strategy, that's fine. But don't just build one because you want to build one. Whilst I find that apps are really, really great for brand awareness and customer retention, the browser is going to become more and more powerful. And developing a mobile website, a mobile-specific website, will allow you to acquire new customers and retain those old customers as well. So this is a kind of an example from New York Times. So you can see at the far there, New York Times, that's just the desktop page that's just on a mobile site. Here in the middle is their optimized landing page. And here on the side is their iPhone app. So not too much difference actually between the mobile site and the iPhone app, but there is a lot of difference between those two and the full New York Times page. As you can see, it's all spread out. You probably have to pinch to zoom. It's a bit complicated. This is much, much clearer. So these are 11 tips for optimizing your mobile website, which I'm not going to go through now. But if we just want to bring up the M&S website, because I'd rather just show you. So we all know M&S developed a new website for mobile. And what's really great about this is that, first of all, it's running on Rails. So that's what Luke is showing us. So just to explain what running on Rails means, is that there's no pinch to zoom, there's no side to side, there's none of that. It's a straight up and down scroll, which kind of lends itself to the nature of how we scroll on mobile phones. You can stop scrolling now, Luke. Brilliant. What they've also got, which is really, really great, is drop-down menus. As you can see, women's, men's, kids, home furniture, drop-down menus are really useful when you're thinking about the mobile touch web. In the future, there's going to be a lot more touchscreen smartphones. So think about how users are going to interact with that. Drop-down menus are great. They also have, which I saw on the homepage, their September adverts there as well. So a bit of branding. Think about what a mobile user wants to see. So again, when I'm talking to clients, I like to just show them their mobile website, which is unoptimized, and then I say, yeah, go for it. And then I say, like, what do you think could be better? What do you think would be easier for people? And they come up with like all sorts of suggestions, which are all correct. Amazon is someone who we hail as kind of doing this the best. As you can see, it hasn't loaded fully yet, but I can just run you through them. They've got large touchpads as well, for those of us with slightly bigger fingers. Again, drop-down menus, but what is also interesting is that they have a button going back to their PC site as well. So they're giving the mobile user an option. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to go back to the PC site, but some people are still kind of heavily reliant on that, given that Amazon's core business was desktop first. But you can see they've got options, they've got drop downs, and you can buy something within one click if you have, the one-click setting as well. So this is something that is very, very important and is going to help you drive a lot more customer traffic through, because they're more likely to take action on your site if you make it easier for them to do it. It's as simple as that. So this is a case study from EasyJet. Now the story with EasyJet is that they don't have a mobile website, but they wanted to understand the value that mobile was driving so they could sell internally into the business a mobile website, which most of you, I guess, have to do, is sell internally. So what they did was they adopted all the best practices that I've just talked through with the separate campaigns, the keywords, the creative, all of this kind of stuff. And what they saw was staggering. A 6 times higher click-through rate, so people clicking through the ad, an ROI of 11 to 1, and 38% of bookings on mobile were for flights that departed within 10 days versus 13% on desktop. And the end of the story is basically that they've now been able to sell in the idea of a mobile website and are currently developing that. So this is again going through the list that you all know now because I've drilled it into your heads. You'll be able to get these presentations, don't worry. So I guess just to end off, the big question is what should you do now? I've just bombarded you with a lot of stuff, but we have 4 key principles at Google when it comes to mobile. So the first one is be clear. Now, I don't want to kind of stand here and teach you all to suck eggs, but again, being clear with a mobile strategy is very, very important because you have things like apps, you've got a mobile website, you've got search, you've got display, you've got a lot of things. Get it out in the open, clarify what you want to do. It's going to make it a whole lot easier. Be ready. So when we say be ready, again, is your business, is your website ready for this mobile growth? Be found, optimize your campaigns, adopt the best practices that I've been talking about, and be smart. Track the performance, and above all, just test it. Give it a test, learn from the results. You know how to track it now, and that's going to be the most important thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.